The Pokemon cards and card games have been with us for almost 2 decades. But, what about this Pokemon card craze has made it last for so long, and sold so great? Welcome to One Away. If you are a fan of Pokemon or even a game producer, watch this video as we break down the 3 things why this game is the very best. Fandom tested and approved. Although many say that the Pokemon trade card game testers don't spill the beans on what they get, it's often taken as a substantial salary. And by substantial, that indicates a lot, when you consider that these game testers are paid to live and work in Tokyo. Tokyo, after all, is one of the most expensive cities to get around on. This is the relationship between the testers and creators of the Pokemon trade card game or Pokemon TCG have made. But creators of Pokemon TCG, appropriately named creatures, have been quite passionate about the choice of testers too. And it falls to 2 critical criteria. People who are passionate about Pokemon and its world. People who are insanely knowledgeable on many different card game. Creatures made it a point that both testers and developers are greatly involved. The whole crew could have as much as 20 testers and 70 people that help develop the game further. Together they spend the hours from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day, to make sure the product and innovations reach a unique standard. Oftentimes, it's better to have a collective of people who care so much for the material, than a budget the scale of a AAA video game or a blockbuster film. It's a full-time commitment on both sides, and it's a system that has worked to great effect. In the UK alone, almost 2 billion of these products were sold back in 2018. It's for the perennials. Although Creatures as a company works via a dedicated development and tests, there's something more there. Most of the work for Pokemon TCG has also been geared towards the cards themselves. Creatures note that as a trading game, they're not on the lookout only for nice game mechanics, but for the cards to sell also. This is often why the company wanted every Pokemon card to have a different feel and look to them. Some cards took inspiration via watercolors. Some cards took inspiration from physical clay models. But almost all the cards were made with a very wide range of different styles, in terms of influence. In fact, some of the cards are so prized that certain illustration cards cost $100,000. Some more standard ones, like the first edition Charizard, could sell for thousands of British pounds. The logic behind these was quite reasonable. This is because every person that invests in the games has different likes and dislikes. This considerate approach is one of the more impressionable things that the world knows of Japanese workmanship. What Creatures have made isn't one that sells quickly, but it's one that sells for a long time. They sell, what author Ryan Holiday refers to as, perennial sellers. Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird. Michael Jackson's albums. These are the gold mines that keep the revenue in order. They don't dwindle after some popularity after 6 months or a year. They don't need a great market campaign to sell. They have word of mouth, they have a loyal fan base. And they have what Wired's Kevin Kelly would call as 1,000 true fans. Once you have those, the rest of the zeros take care of themselves. Creatures are clear when it made Pokemon TCG a product to last. And this kind of importance is left out in many projects in other companies. They avoid the wicked problems. Many video games, as great as they are, often suffer from what the industry refers to as wicked problems. These are the kind of problems that happen in the developmental stages of the games, and are often very difficult to backtrack. A common example as a result of this is what happened with Ubisoft and the several bugs found in Assassin's Creed, Unity. It took almost 60 gigabytes of data to correct those, after months of complaints. And though there are several reasons as to why wicked problems exist, it really comes down to these things in video games. Too many ideas in the development stage, and too complicated a structure for game mechanics. This is not often the case with Pokemon TCG. It is after all a clear premise, you and a friend are opposite each other. You both have a deck of beautifully made cards. And you battle with the use of your Pokemon, trainer materials, and related items. For all the greatness in many video games, this trade card game offers a refresh to clean the slate. It's probably no surprise that many old-timers engage in chess on the street even to this day for the same reason. This kind of clear game mechanics is the key, based on Pokemon TCG director, Atsushi Nagashima. It is this kind of clarity in the game that has made itself endear to many communities, inside and outside of Japan. To many not familiar with the game, it's more like a cross between a cosplay roleplay game, and trade cards. But, it's ironic that this kind of make-believe is what all the top video games companies strive for, almost to the point of bankruptcy. Pokemon TCG is an example that has stood the test of time because it avoids many problems that high-tech options produce. What do you think makes Pokemon TCG unique? Did you know that Japan has been in the trade card game for years but started out with something completely different?